Hi, I'm Hadari Brown. Once again, people, I'm coming to you right now to tell you some reasons not to vote. These are not my reasons, but these are the reasons that people have gave me and have given to others on why they're not going to vote. For starters, you refuse to vote until your dog can vote too? Now that's the most silliest reason I ever heard. Dogs and cats, birds, pets in general, you're voting for them. There's several laws that protect our animals, that protect the wildlife. So vote for them. Stop making excuses and using other people or other things as a crutch to why you can't vote. Go vote. You're in prison. Now that's a good reason. However, if we want to change that, then we need to elect political officials who care for our prisoners or those who are in jail. Hey, I'm not saying I support those in jail being able to vote, but hey, for those who do, make sure you elect politicians who care about those who are in jail and who are in prison. And if you want them to have a right to vote, then let's elect people who gonna do it. There is no free food involved. Come on, folks. Do we really need free food to be involved for us to get up and go vote? Did those who fought in the civil rights movement get us? Did they go do it because there was free food involved? Did they risk their lives because there was free food involved? For those who fought in the Civil War, World War I and II, any war that America has fought in, a Revolutionary War, did they really fight because it was free food involved? Or did they fight because they cared? Did they want a better country, a better America? Come on now. Don't use free food as a reason not to go vote. Be real. You don't think exercising your right to vote is worth the price of a stamp? Now that's the most silliest thing I ever heard. Hey, if you don't vote absentee, it's worth the price of a stamp. Because by voting absentee, you can then work a poll on election day. You can go help out with a political campaign on election day. You free yourself up to call your friends and family and make sure they go vote. You free yourself up to take other people to the polls on election day. So hey, I know stamps go up every year just about. But 43 cents, it's just 43 cents. Voting is priceless. The person who works at the poll site also works at the movie theater, and if you go to vote, she'll know you are over 18 and she won't let you have the children's discount anymore. Now let's be real. That's really silly, and it's not even worth a comment. Go vote, period. You feel guilty when the person you voted against loses. Hey, politics are competition. There's always going to be a winner and a loser. So regardless of who wins and who loses, don't feel guilty about it. Keep it moving, because everybody knows there can't be two winners. Come on, that's just the nature of the game. In competitions, it's always going to be a winner and a loser. You object to the democratic form of government? You object to a democratic form of government? That's a reason not to go vote? If you object, then that's every reason to go vote. If you're against this form of democratic government, then what about you elect people who feel the same way you feel? Stop making excuses. That's the most silliest excuse, or one of the most silliest excuses I've heard. That's why you should go vote. Plain and simple. That's the reason why you go vote. Rock musicians and movie stars haven't told you how to vote yet. Come on, people. If we listen to people on TV to tell us how to vote, or these rock musicians and movie stars to come out and say, hey, vote for this person, then we don't be waiting all day. 9 times 10, most of these people don't even care about who you vote for unless it's a presidential election. They don't care who you vote for city council, school board, mayor. They don't care. And if they do care, half the time they don't make it vocal because they trying to sell movies. They trying to sell records. That's why it's people like us who got to take a stand when they're not taking a stand on the issues. That's real. Stop waiting on celebrities to tell us how to vote and start making the choices for ourselves. You are too busy playing video games to change the world. Now that's the sad thing. Video games, come on now, grow up. They don't come out with a new game every year, and you don't continuously buy it. And you don't continuously can make that excuse on why you can't go vote because you're playing a video game. That video game ain't gonna go nowhere. But I'll tell you what's gonna go somewhere. The economy, education, jobs. those things are continue to change. Climate, gas prices, food prices, Social Security, your 401k, all that might be gone by the time you get up and make a difference. So put the video games down and go vote. You're not actually a resident of Washington State. You're a Martian waiting for the mothership to return. Now that's just silly. Let's just be real. End of story. That's silly. Now, voting is for old people. Let's be real, people. In the civil rights movement, it was led by young people. Young people led the civil rights movement, not old folks. I love my senior citizens like the next person. But it's people like our parents who led the movement. It's people like our aunts and cousins who led the movement. Young people have always been at the battlefield of movements. So let's make the movement ours. Everybody needs to be involved. Young, old, it doesn't matter. We all need to go vote and make a difference. You're planning to move to Canada before the next election? Come on now. As long as you're here, make sure you register and make sure you go vote. Stop making these excuses. Come on. You've decided to vote as an act of silent non-compliance, protesting the inequity of dinner always coming before dessert. What? I'm not even gonna comment on that one either, y'all. You won't vote until you find a candidate who cares as much about animals as you do. Come on. I already responded to that. You don't believe in the things that either candidate says until you believe 100% you will refuse. Simply put, people, the reality is you're not always going to agree with a candidate in everything that they say. It's impossible for you to agree with somebody 100% of the time. If that was the case, then we would always sit on the sidelines and never elect anyone. You have to believe in someone. You have to go vote for someone. Regardless if you agree with them 70% of the time, 80% of the time, or simply 50% of the time. Take the risk. Go vote for them. If that's the candidate that's best for you, go vote for them. Because you're never going to believe in a candidate 100% of the time on every single issue. It's virtually impossible. I don't agree with half the candidates I voted for in my life, or half the candidates I've always supported. I don't agree with everything that they say and do. I don't. But the thing is, I agree with them more so than I agree with their opponent, and that's why I voted for them. That's why I supported them. Hey, it's gonna come a time where I do disagree with my candidate on one or two issues, but the reality is the rest of the issues, they believe like I believe, and they have shown a record of that. So make sure you go vote and believe. It's all about believing, people. Stop making excuses. I'm Adari P.T. Brown, and that's my perspective on why you need to stop making excuses for why you don't vote. Just go vote. Peace out.